Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that everything in your life is unfolding with divine precision, that each challenge bends to serve you, that each delay is a redirection to something greater. What if your only job was to assume, to embody, to live in the feeling of certainty that everything always works out for you? Not sometimes, not occasionally. The secret is not in chasing outcomes, but in becoming the version of you that has already received. When you act as if everything is working out, you align yourself with unseen forces, with the infinite intelligence that shapes all reality. You don't wait to see it to believe it. You believe it, and then you see it. The very foundation of all manifestation, all creation, begins with a single act, an act of assumption. To assume something means more than just hoping or wishing for it. It is a conscious decision to occupy a state of mind in which what you desire is already true. This simple but profound shift is where all things begin. Before the universe can rearrange itself to bring you your desires, your mind must first embody the reality of having already received. Many people misunderstand the creative process because they focus too much on external evidence. They want to see proof before they believe. Yet the truth is that the outer world is the effect, not the cause. It follows the lead of your inner world. Your assumptions, your deep persistent beliefs, shape every circumstance you experience. When you assume something with feeling and conviction, you plant a seed in the fertile ground of your subconscious mind. And that seed then grows, drawing from invisible sources of energy and intelligence to bring forth its expression in your life. Assumption is a form of inner knowing. It is a silent conversation you have with yourself, repeated over and over until it becomes the unquestioned truth you live by. When you say, even in your mind, everything is working out for me, and truly feel that statement, you begin to reprogram your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your entire being. You are no longer a person waiting and doubting. You become a person who knows and trusts. This knowing is magnetic. It aligns you with the flow of life, the invisible forces that respond only to certainty. In reality, nothing happens in the world that does not first exist as a thought or assumption in someone's mind. Every invention, every work of art, every success story started with someone who dared to assume the reality they desired long before it appeared in the physical world. They did not wait for conditions to be perfect or for others to give them permission. They assumed it was theirs and acted from that place of confidence. This is the creative power you hold within you. Your mind is a workshop, and your assumptions are the blueprint from which your future is constructed. The process is simple, but must be done with feeling. It is not enough to intellectually tell yourself that things will work out. Your heart and emotions must join in the conviction. The subconscious mind does not argue or debate. It accepts what is impressed upon it with feeling as absolute truth. So when you assume a reality, do so with the emotional intensity of one who is already living it. Feel the peace, the joy, the satisfaction, as if you have already arrived. This feeling acts like a command to the subconscious, which then sets the wheels of creation into motion. Assumption also frees you from the bondage of current circumstances. Many get trapped by the facts of their present situation, lack of money, relationship problems, health issues, and assume those facts define their lives permanently. But you are not your circumstances. You are the one who creates them. By consciously choosing to assume the opposite, you break free from limitation. You open a pathway for your life to shift. The universe is neutral, neither for nor against you, and it responds to the signals your mind sends out. When you send the signal of assumption, it begins to rearrange conditions around you. One important element in this process is persistence. The mind can be stubborn, and old beliefs can surface to challenge your new assumption. When doubt creeps in, remember that creation is a process, not an instant event. Your role is to persist in the assumption, to live in the state of the fulfilled desire, no matter what your senses show you. Like a gardener tending a seedling, you nurture your assumption with attention and faith. Over time, what was once invisible begins to take shape in your world. Acting as if is not pretending, it is embodying the truth before it is visible. It is the key that unlocks the door between the invisible realm of potential and the visible realm of manifestation. When you assume that everything always works out for you, you are claiming your power as the conscious creator of your life. This assumption is the first spark that ignites the fire of creation. Without it, your dreams remain just wishes. With it, they become inevitable realities. Feeling is the true language through which your inner world communicates with the universe. It is not merely the fleeting emotion tied to a passing thought, but the deep, sustained experience that shapes your very reality. While many believe that thinking about what they want is enough, the secret lies far deeper in the feeling behind the thought. Feeling is the key that unlocks the door to the reality you desire, because it acts as the bridge between imagination and manifestation. When you focus only on thoughts without feeling, your creative power remains dormant, like a spark without fuel. Thoughts are like blueprints, but feeling is the building material. Without feeling, your thoughts remain abstract, disconnected from the creative force that brings ideas into form. It is the feeling that breathes life into your assumptions and projects them into the subconscious mind, which is the fertile soil where reality grows. The subconscious mind does not understand words or logic the way the conscious mind does. It responds to the emotional tone that underlies your beliefs. This is why feeling what you want is more important than merely wishing for it intellectually. Imagine the feeling of joy, the sensation of peace, the warmth of gratitude as though your desire has already come to pass. These feelings are not random. They are signals sent outward to the universe. Like a radio transmitter, your emotional frequency vibrates at a certain rate, attracting events, people, and circumstances that match it. The more vivid and genuine your feeling, the stronger the signal you send. The universe listens and answers in kind. Your feeling sets the creative process in motion, shaping your external world to mirror your internal state. Many people struggle because they focus too much on the how or the timeline of their desires and not enough on the emotional experience of already having what they want. This disconnect weakens their manifestation power. When you allow yourself to fully embody the feeling of success, love, health, or abundance, you create a magnetic force that draws those realities toward you. The feeling is the reality you want, condensed into experience before it becomes visible. It is the seed that grows into the tree of your fulfilled desire. The power of feeling is also a lesson in faith and surrender. You do not need to see the path clearly or understand every step ahead. Your task is simply to feel as if your wish is already fulfilled and to hold that feeling steadily. This cultivates a sense of trust within you, a deep knowing that the unseen is working behind the scenes. Feeling generates confidence, which strengthens your ability to remain anchored in your vision despite external circumstances that may seem contradictory. You begin to move through life with assurance rather than anxiety, knowing that your inner state is creating the outer result. Feeling also transforms the energy around you. It changes your posture, your expression, your tone of voice, all subtle signals that influence how others respond to you. When you carry the feeling of success and well-being, you naturally attract opportunities and relationships that support that state. People are drawn to your confidence and positivity. This ripple effect magnifies the creative power of your feeling, accelerating the arrival of your desire. It is important to understand that feeling is not about suppressing negative emotions or denying reality. Rather, it is about consciously choosing to dwell in the feeling of the desired outcome instead of the feeling of lack or doubt. You acknowledge the current situation, but you refuse to make it your identity. Instead, you cultivate the feeling that aligns with your dream, even if the evidence is not yet visible. This practice trains your mind to transcend limitations and creates a fertile environment for miracles to unfold. Feeling is also an anchor for your imagination. When you combine vivid mental imagery with strong feeling, you create a sensory experience so real that your subconscious accepts it as fact. This acceptance triggers a powerful creative response. As the subconscious mind works tirelessly to reconcile your inner reality with your outer experience. The stronger and more consistent you're feeling, the faster this reconciliation happens. In the end, feeling is the true currency of creation. It is the magic ingredient that transforms your hopes and dreams from abstract ideas into living realities. Without feeling, your thoughts remain inert. With feeling, your thoughts become a force that shapes your destiny. The choice is yours. Will you live in the dry realm of mere thought, or will you enter the vibrant world of feeling where all creation begins? Everything you see around you, every experience, every circumstance, every relationship is a direct reflection of your inner world. Your external life is not random or chaotic. It is a perfect mirror of what you carry within. The cause of your reality lies not in the outside world, but inside your own mind and heart. This is a profound truth that, once understood, can transform your entire approach to life. The outer world, with all its events and conditions, is merely the effect, the consequence of what you believe, feel, and think deeply inside. It is not the other way around. The world does not shape your inner state as much as your inner state shapes the world. This is why two people can experience the same event and yet respond in completely different ways. Their inner worlds are different, so their realities differ as well. Your outer life is the echo of your inner beliefs, assumptions, and feelings. Most people look outward for solutions to their problems. They seek changes in their environment, improvements in circumstances, or different people to fix what seems broken. But no external change can last unless it is accompanied by an internal change. When you shift your inner world, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, the outer world must follow suit. The laws of reality respond to the invisible cause, which is the state of your consciousness. This principle places tremendous power in your hands. You are not a passive victim of circumstance, but the active creator of your life. The way you think about yourself, about others, and about the world forms the blueprint for everything you experience. If you find yourself stuck in lack, frustration, or pain, it is because somewhere inside you've accepted beliefs or feelings that attract those very conditions. By changing what you believe and feel internally, you can change what manifests externally. Your inner world is like a garden. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, or limitation, your life will bear the fruit of struggle and disappointment. If you plant seeds of faith, hope, and possibility, you will harvest success, joy, and abundance. This is why cultivating your inner state is so vital. Your thoughts and feelings are the seeds from which your life grows. Tend your inner garden with care, nurturing positive beliefs and assumptions, and the world around you will transform in kind. It is also important to understand that your inner world is often shaped by habitual patterns, programs running silently in the background of your mind. These are past experiences, societal conditioning, or self-imposed limitations that influence how you perceive reality. To create a new outer reality, you must first become aware of these inner patterns and consciously choose to change them. This requires courage and persistence, because it means going beyond surface appearances and diving deep into your own consciousness. When you hold a new inner image of yourself and your life, one filled with confidence, peace, and success, you start to project that image outward. The universe responds to this projection by rearranging conditions, people, and opportunities to match your new state of being. Your outer reality is like a canvas, and your inner world is the painter. Change the painting in your mind, and the canvas will change accordingly. You may notice that sometimes your outer world doesn't immediately reflect your inner changes. This is natural, because the process of aligning your inner and outer worlds takes time. Your subconscious mind needs to adjust and rewrite its programming. Meanwhile, your role is to remain faithful to your new inner state, to persist in feeling and believing that your reality is changing, even if the external evidence is slow to appear. This persistence strengthens your creative power. By accepting that your inner world is the cause, you free yourself from blaming outside forces for your situation. You reclaim your sovereignty and responsibility. You become the master of your fate, capable of consciously designing the life you desire. When you understand this truth deeply, you realize that no one else controls your happiness or success but you. The power lies within, always has, and always will. Ultimately, this understanding calls you to pay close attention to your thoughts and feelings. It invites you to choose them wisely, because they are the architects of your reality. Every moment is an opportunity to change your inner world and thereby create a new external life. Your reality is not fixed or predetermined. It is fluid and responsive to the state of your consciousness. Your inner world is the cause and your outer world is the effect. A beautiful, perfect reflection of who you are inside. To live from the end means to embody the reality of your fulfilled desire as if it has already happened. It is not about chasing something in the future or struggling to reach a distant goal. Rather, it is about stepping into the state of mind and being where your desire is fully realized now, in the present moment. This simple but profound shift in consciousness changes everything. When you live from the end, you align yourself with the natural flow of creation and allow your desires to manifest effortlessly. Most people live towards the end. They focus on the process, the obstacles, the future achievement. They imagine themselves as someone who will be happy only once certain conditions are met, or when they finally get what they want. This mindset creates a gap between who they are now and who they want to become. It generates feelings of lack, impatience, and struggle because their attention is fixed on what is not yet. Living toward the end keeps you in a state of longing rather than fulfillment. Living from the end reverses this. It asks you to imagine and feel what it is like to already have your desire fulfilled. Instead of saying, I will be successful one day, you say, I am successful now. Instead of hoping for love or health, you live as if love and health are your present reality. This is not a mere fantasy or wishful thinking. It is a deliberate act of consciousness where you accept your desire as true and certain. By doing so, you are creating a powerful magnetic field that attracts circumstances to support this inner reality. When you live from the end, you shift your identity. Your sense of self is no longer tied to past limitations or current conditions. You become the person who already embodies your goal, the one who walks, talks, and thinks as though nothing is missing. This shift in identity is crucial because it changes the way you interact with the world. Your actions, your words, and your energy begin to reflect your new state of being. You move through life with confidence and ease, naturally drawing people and opportunities that resonate with your fulfilled desire. This practice requires more than just intellectual understanding. It demands feeling and imagination. Your imagination is the workshop of the soul, where your desires take shape in vivid detail. Use it to create mental scenes where you are living your desired reality. See yourself in that reality. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, feel the emotions as if it is happening now. Let the feeling of having already arrived wash over you completely. This feeling is what impresses your subconscious mind, planting the seed from which your new reality will grow. Living from the end also frees you from the anxiety and doubt that often accompany goal setting. When you focus on the future and the steps needed to get there, you can become overwhelmed by the unknown. You may question your ability or worry about setbacks. But when you live from the end, you are grounded in certainty. You trust the unseen process of creation to unfold naturally. Your task is not to force or control, but to embody the end result and remain faithful to that vision. In practical terms, living from the end changes how you respond to challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, you see them as temporary illusions that cannot alter the reality you have accepted internally. You do not fight against circumstances. You remain steady in your inner state, knowing that your outer world will catch up. This steadiness creates a powerful vibration that aligns you with your desire, attracting the right people, ideas, and events into your life. This way of living transforms your entire experience of time. The future no longer holds power over you because you are already present in the fulfillment of your desires. Time becomes a servant to your imagination rather than a master of your fate. You live with the awareness that the cause and effect of your life are united in the present moment through your consciousness. Living from the end also cultivates gratitude. When you accept your desire as already fulfilled, you naturally feel thankful. This gratitude amplifies your vibration and accelerates manifestation. It is the emotional proof that you are living in alignment with your highest good. Gratitude confirms your faith in the creative power within you and opens the doors for even greater blessings to flow. Ultimately, to live from the end is to live in harmony with the natural law of creation. It is to become a conscious creator who knows that the state of your consciousness is the only reality that matters. Your outer world is simply a reflection of that state. When you live from the end, you are not chasing a dream, you are living it, fully and completely right now. Circumstances are often mistaken for reality, but they are merely temporary conditions that surround you. They are like clouds passing through the sky, always shifting, always changing. Many people believe that their happiness, success, or peace depends on changing these external conditions. They think that once their circumstances improve, their life will transform. But this belief keeps them trapped in a cycle of waiting and disappointment, because circumstances are not the cause of your reality. Your state of being is. Your state of being is the invisible internal reality that precedes and shapes every external experience. It is the sum total of your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and assumptions. While circumstances may appear solid and unchangeable, they are in truth reflections of your inner state. When you realize this, you understand that no matter how bleak or difficult your current situation seems, it does not have the power to define who you are or what your future holds. To place your power in circumstances is to surrender your creative potential. When you believe that your environment controls your life, you become a victim to it. You wait for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, or the removal of obstacles before you can live fully or pursue your dreams. This waiting creates resistance and frustration, and it keeps you locked in a state of lack. But your state of being is your true power. When you focus on changing your inner condition, you alter the foundation upon which your reality is built. Your state of being is like a magnet. It draws experiences, people, and events that correspond to your inner vibration. If you dwell in fear, doubt, or despair, you attract situations that reinforce those feelings. If you embody confidence, peace, and joy, your world shifts to match that energy. This is why it is possible for two people to experience the same circumstance but respond in completely different ways with completely different results. The difference lies in their state of being. This understanding invites you to detach your happiness and sense of worth from external conditions. You begin to see that true fulfillment is not dependent on what happens outside, but on how you relate to it from within. This shift in perspective brings freedom. Even in the midst of challenges, you can maintain a state of calm and assurance, knowing that your inner world is the cause of your experience and not the effect of circumstances. Living from this awareness requires deliberate effort. It means consciously choosing your state of being, regardless of what appears around you. When a negative situation arises, instead of reacting with panic or despair, you pause and adjust your inner condition. You remind yourself that circumstances are fleeting and do not hold ultimate power. You return your focus to the feelings and beliefs that align with the life you desire. This practice strengthens your creative power and rewires your subconscious mind to attract better experiences. It is important to understand that this does not mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging reality without letting it dictate your state. You accept the facts of your current situation, but refuse to allow them to define your identity or your future. Your state of being becomes the anchor that holds you steady, while the outer world shifts and rearranges itself in response. When you maintain a positive and empowered state of being, your energy changes. Your posture, your expression, your voice, all reflect your inner confidence and peace. This not only influences your own reality, but also affects how others perceive and respond to you. You create a ripple effect that can transform your environment in unexpected ways. People are naturally drawn to your strength and positivity, opening doors and creating opportunities. This principle reveals a profound secret. You're never truly limited by your circumstances. The limitations exist only as long as you identify with them. Once you change your state of being, the limitations dissolve. Your mind and heart begin to operate from a place of possibility rather than restriction. You become a creator rather than a victim. In this way, the mastery of your state of being is the mastery of your life. Circumstances will come and go, but your inner reality remains constant and sovereign. When you learn to live from this place of inner authority, you command the power to shape your world effortlessly. You no longer react to the shifting tides of life, but sail steadily toward the destination you have already imagined and embraced within. Faith is not a static quality you either have or lack. It is a living, breathing muscle within your being that grows stronger the more you use it. Just as your physical muscles require regular exercise to develop and remain powerful, your faith requires daily nourishment and practice to deepen and expand. It is through consistent effort and deliberate choice that your faith becomes unshakable, the foundation upon which all your manifestations rest. Many people misunderstand faith as blind hope or wishful thinking. They see it as something that magically appears only in moments of desperation or great need. But true faith is much more than that. It is a conscious decision to trust in the unseen, to hold firm to your inner vision, even when external circumstances suggest otherwise. It is the confidence that what you desire is already yours, even if you cannot yet see it. And like any skill, it must be exercised regularly to remain alive and vibrant. Strengthening your faith daily means making small but consistent acts of belief, no matter how subtle. It means choosing to feel assurance in the face of doubt, to repeat affirmations when negativity threatens, to imagine the fulfillment of your desires with vividness and feeling every day. These practices are the workouts for your faith muscle. Each time you resist the pull of disbelief and recenter on your inner certainty, your faith grows a little stronger, a little more resilient. Faith is not about forcing or pushing harder. It is about gently but persistently aligning your thoughts and feelings with what you want to create. It is a quiet power that holds you steady through uncertainty and change. When your faith is strong, you are like a tree with deep roots. No matter how fierce a storm, you remain unmoved at your core. This inner stability is what allows creation to unfold naturally. The universe responds not to your frantic efforts, but to your calm, unwavering belief. Daily strengthening of faith also means cultivating patience. Faith knows that time is an ally, not an enemy. It does not rush or panic when manifestations are delayed. Instead, it trusts in the perfect timing of life, knowing that what is meant for you will come to you in the right way and at the right moment. This patience itself is a form of faith, a surrender to the process, while holding fast to the end vision. Faith is a muscle that can become fatigued if neglected. When you fail to nourish it with positive thoughts, gratitude, and focused imagination, it weakens. Doubt creeps in, uncertainty grows, and the connection to your desired reality becomes fragile. This is why daily practice is so important. It prevents erosion of your faith and keeps your creative power flowing. Even on days when you feel discouraged, a simple act like silently affirming your belief or visualizing success can rebuild and fortify your faith. Another key aspect of strengthening faith daily is surrounding yourself with reminders and influences that support your belief. This may mean reading inspiring words, listening to uplifting stories, or spending time with people who embody faith and confidence. Your environment can either nourish your faith muscle or drain it, so be intentional about the energy you allow into your life. Feed your faith with positivity and watch it grow stronger. As your faith strengthens, you will notice a transformation not only in your outer circumstances but also within yourself. You become more courageous, more aligned with your purpose, and more willing to take inspired action. Faith fuels your motivation without anxiety or desperation. It makes your journey joyful because you trust the outcome is already secured by the invisible forces you have aligned with. In truth, faith is the bridge between desire and manifestation. Without it, your dreams remain distant and out of reach. With it, even the impossible becomes possible. It is the unseen power that breathes life into your visions and calls them into existence. And just as a well-trained muscle carries your body effortlessly, a strong faith carries your spirit through life's challenges with grace and certainty. Every day is an opportunity to exercise your faith. Each moment you choose belief over doubt, trust over fear, and imagination over despair. You strengthen this vital muscle. It grows resilient, unyielding, and ready to support you in creating the life you envision. Faith is not a one-time event, but a lifelong practice, a daily commitment to stand firm in the unseen reality of your dreams until they appear in the physical world. Remember, the world you experience is the reflection of the state of being you choose to live in. When you act as if everything always works out for you, you are not merely pretending. You are stepping into the truth of your own creative power. This mindset shifts you from a place of limitation and doubt into a space of certainty and fulfillment. Your assumptions become the seeds of creation, your feelings the key that unlocks reality, and your inner world the undeniable cause of your outer experiences. Live from the end, embodying your desired reality now without waiting for circumstances to change. Understand that the state of being you cultivate is far more powerful than any external situation. Strengthen your faith daily as you would a muscle, knowing that consistent belief and trust will carry you through any challenge and bring your dreams into manifestation. No matter what unfolds around you, hold fast to the knowing that everything is always working out for you. This unwavering conviction is your ultimate source of freedom and joy. When you live this way, you align with the infinite creative power within you, and life becomes a continuous flow of miracles, opportunities, and abundance. So, step boldly into this truth today. Act as if everything always works out for you, and watch how the universe effortlessly responds to your unshakable faith, bringing you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Your reality awaits your belief. Imagine holding the power to shape your entire life with only 3 simple words. Words that unlock the secret door between your present reality and the world of your dreams. These words are not just sounds. They are the vibration of creation itself, the key to bending the unseen forces to your will. Every great achievement, every fulfilled desire begins with a clear declaration, spoken or imagined, with complete faith. What if I told you that within you lies a sacred command, a phrase so potent that when embraced fully, it alters the very fabric of your existence? Today, I will reveal these 3 words and show you how to wield them with absolute conviction, so your dreams no longer remain distant fantasies, but become your tangible reality. The 3 words: I am already. These words carry a power beyond anything you've imagined. They bypass doubt, defeat fear, and root your consciousness firmly in the reality you desire. There is a sacred rhythm to life, a dance between thought and manifestation, between desire and reality. Within each of us lies the ability to command this dance, to step into a frequency where our dreams are not distant or delayed, but immediate and inevitable. The phrase, I am already, is not merely words spoken aloud or repeated in thought. It is a declaration of existence. It is you, standing confidently in the reality you choose to live. When you say, I am already, you are telling the universe that your desire is not a future possibility, but a present truth. To manifest is to awaken to this truth, to live from the end, to embody the feeling, the certainty, the joy of your fulfilled dream now. This is the secret many miss. Manifestation does not wait for the future. It begins in the present moment. Feel it deeply. Feel the emotions that come with having your dream fulfilled. Excitement, peace, gratitude. These emotions are the fuel that drives the unseen forces to bend and shape your reality. When doubts try to cloud your mind, return to your words. I am already. This is your fortress of faith. This faith is not wishful thinking, but absolute knowing. It does not waver with circumstances or time. Be persistent. Return to your declaration often. Let it seep into your subconscious, transforming your identity from someone waiting to someone who already has. This is the power of repetition with feeling. Much as the invisible begins to materialize, doors open, paths clear, and the world around you reshapes itself to mirror your inner certainty. You are the creator of your experience. You hold the keys to the kingdom of your desires. Speak these 3 words often. Feel their truth fully, and watch your dreams manifest before your eyes. You are not waiting for the future. You are already there. I am already. Manifestation begins and ends in the present moment. The universe, or the creative force within you, does not respond to future tense wishes or past regrets. It responds only to what you believe and feel now. That is why the 3 words, I am already, are so powerful. They are a present tense declaration. They do not say, I will be, or I hope to be, or one day I'll have. They say, I am already. And in this one phrase, you align your consciousness with the only moment that truly exists, the now. The power of present tense belief lies in this truth. Your imagination is the seed of all creation, and your belief gives it life. When you say, I am already successful, even before any outward proof shows up, you begin to inhabit the mental and emotional state of success. And because your inner world is the blueprint, your outer world must follow in due time. Every desire you hold is not a call to action, it is a call to identity. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. That's why affirming something in the present tense is not about deceiving yourself. It's about stepping into the truth that already exists within you. The possibility you desire is already real in the invisible realm. The moment you believe in it now, you collapse the distance between your desire and its manifestation. Consider this. When you say, I will be wealthy, you place your desire on a timeline that never arrives. Tomorrow becomes next week, next year, and eventually never. But when you say, I am already abundant, you bring the frequency of abundance into your body, your emotions, and your mind. You speak to your subconscious with authority. You tell the infinite power within you that this is not a hope, it is a command. This is where most people fall short. They affirm in future tense, or they plead from a place of lack. But the universe does not respond to begging. It responds to being. It reflects what you are conscious of being. When you become conscious of being in love, in health, in wealth now, you begin to shape your reality to match that truth. The present tense cuts through doubt. It trains the subconscious mind, which does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts the dominant belief. If you impress upon it the idea that I am already powerful, I am already healed, I am already living my dream, and you feel it with sincerity, the subconscious begins to reorder your behaviors, your thoughts, and your circumstances accordingly. There is no power in waiting. There is only power in claiming. The longer you wait to believe, the longer you delay your manifestation. The truth is, you are not becoming something. You are revealing what you already are. The present tense belief acts like a mirror. It shows you a reflection of your inner state and projects it outward into your world. Do not wait for outer validation to believe. The world is not the cause, it is the effect. The cause is you, your thoughts, your feelings, and your assumptions, held in the present. Declare who you are now, and let the future be shaped by the power of your present decision. When you consistently affirm your dream in the language of the now, your entire being begins to adjust to that version of yourself. You begin to act, think, speak, and feel in alignment with your desire, not as a wishful thinker, but as a conscious creator. So speak in the present. Believe in the now. Feel as if it is already done, because the moment you say, I am already, you are. To live from the end is to make your desired reality your dwelling place, not a destination. It means assuming, without wavering, that your dream has already been fulfilled. It is not wishful thinking. It is a deep knowing, a quiet confidence, and a complete embodiment of the life you choose to live. You do not look toward it as something out there in the distance. You bring it here. You bring it now. Living from the end is not about hoping something will happen. It is about mentally and emotionally residing in the state where it has already happened. If you desire love, you no longer see yourself as someone searching or waiting for it. You walk as if you are already loved, already chosen, already adored. If you desire abundance, you don't think like someone in lack. You think, feel, and move like someone who has already received the wealth, the success, the overflow. You must become blind to appearances and loyal only to the unseen truth that your wish is already fulfilled. This requires inner discipline. It requires you to turn away from the world of facts and instead align with the world of imagination. Not because the facts are meaningless, but because they are temporary. The world outside is simply the reflection of your past assumptions. The true cause of your reality is what you dwell upon inwardly. So when you persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not ignoring reality. You are creating a new one. It begins in imagination. You close your eyes and you see yourself in the life you desire, not as a daydreamer, but as a conscious creator. You touch the objects in your imagined home. You hear the sounds of the life you've chosen. You feel the embrace of the love you now have. You smell the scent of your success. And when you open your eyes, you carry that feeling with you, not as fantasy, but as to live from the end is to refuse to look back in regret or look ahead in worry. You remain grounded in the knowing that it is done. The bridge of incidents will unfold naturally. Circumstances will shift. People will move. Opportunities will appear, not because you forced them, but because you aligned with the end. This is not a life of striving. This is a life of allowing, a life of faith, a life where you rest in the awareness that your dream is already yours. Doubt has no place when you live from the end. Fear fades because the outcome is already secured in your mind. You have seen it, you have felt it, you have owned it. And so you walk in certainty, even when the world says otherwise. Even when the bank account hasn't changed, or the relationship hasn't arrived, or the healing hasn't shown itself, you remain unshaken, because your inner world is already in possession of the thing you once sought. This is how true manifestation occurs, not from desperation, not from effort, but from assumption. The assumption that what you desire is already real, already here, already done, and that assumption, when felt deeply and consistently, rearranges the entire structure of your world to make it so. Every thought, every feeling, every word becomes a thread that weaves together your chosen reality. When you live from the end, you speak differently. You carry yourself differently. You no longer ask, will it happen? Because you already know the answer. You say, it is done. And because you believe it deeply, life must obey. Your job is not to figure out how. Your only job is to embody the end as though it is the only truth that exists. Because when you do, it becomes the only truth that does. Creation is not born from thought alone. It is born from thought charged with feeling. You can repeat affirmations endlessly, visualize vividly, or speak positive words, but without the spark of emotion behind them, they are like seeds thrown on dry ground. Emotion is what breathes life into your imagination. It is the invisible current that energizes the idea and moves it into form. Without emotion, the idea remains flat, lifeless, incomplete. But the moment you feel something as real, the moment your heart responds to the image in your mind, you begin the true process of manifestation. Your emotions are creative energy in motion. They are not just reactions. They are instructions sent to the subconscious mind, which accepts them without question. When you feel something with intensity, your subconscious takes it as truth, regardless of whether it has happened in your outer world. This is why fear can manifest undesired outcomes just as powerfully as faith can manifest miracles. Because the subconscious does not judge. It simply receives and expresses what is impressed upon it through feeling. To manifest your dream, you must not only see, you must feel it. You must experience it internally as though it is happening now. Not just in thought, but in sensation. When you say, I am all ready, it is not enough to utter the words. You must let the emotion of that truth flood your being. If you desire love, then feel loved. Feel the joy of connection, the warmth of belonging, the safety of being seen. If you desire success, then feel the confidence, the satisfaction, the calm assurance of knowing you have already made it. These feelings, though invisible, create visible change. They shape the tone of your inner world, and through law, the outer world must match that tone. Emotion is what opens a door between the formless and the formed. It is the bridge that takes you from concept to experience. A dry, mechanical affirmation may stir nothing within you, but a single moment of deep, sincere emotion can change everything. That one moment of truly feeling the end result as real, of rejoicing in it, resting in it, crying tears of joy from it, can move mountains. There is a reason your most vivid memories are tied to emotion. It's because the subconscious captures and stores what is felt, not what is logically processed, but what is emotionally impressed. You must use this same principle deliberately. You must charge your inner world with the emotional frequency of your desire fulfilled. The more you feel it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you create it. Do not be fooled into thinking that effort alone creates. You are not here to force outcomes. You are here to embody states of being, and every state is accessed through emotion. You must live in the emotional climate of your dream before it appears. You must wake up feeling the reality of your desire, even if nothing outside has changed. You must walk through your day with the inner knowing that it is already yours. The more you dwell in that feeling, the more natural it becomes, until it no longer feels like pretending. It feels like truth. And that is when the outer world must bow to your inner conviction. The world responds not to what you say, but to how you feel. Your feelings are prayers. They are declarations of what you accept as real. Speak with emotion. Visualize with passion. Declare with conviction. And feel your way into the life you desire. Because in the unseen realms of creation, it is not the thought that moves the mountains, it is the feeling behind it. Resistance is not the enemy, it is a signal. It appears not to block you, but to reveal the parts of your mind that still doubt, that still waver, that still cling to the old version of yourself. When you decide to create something new, when you assume a new state of being, resistance rises from the depths of your subconscious as if to ask, do you really believe this? And your answer must be unwavering. Yes, it is already done. Faith is the answer to resistance. Not hope, not effort, faith. Faith is knowing that what you desire is already yours, even when every appearance suggests otherwise. Faith is standing firm in your assumption, even when fear whispers in your ear, even when the world throws contradiction in your path. Resistance loses its power the moment you stop reacting to it, The moment you stop asking, why is this happening? And instead affirm, it does not matter, I already am. Your faith must be greater than your fear. It must become the foundation you walk upon. When you feel discomfort, it is not a sign to quit. It is a sign that something is shifting. The old beliefs are being challenged. The patterns that once ruled your life are crumbling. The trembling inside you is not weakness, it is transformation. Do not fight the resistance. Do not argue with it. Simply notice it, breathe through it, and return to your vision. Return to your assumption. Return to your knowing. The power to overcome resistance lies in your ability to remain loyal to the unseen. Anyone can believe when the evidence shows up, but creation belongs to the one who believes before the evidence, who walks in the light of their imagination when the world is still cloaked in shadows. This is the sacred work, to stay in the end when the middle looks messy, to trust the seed you've planted, even when the soil looks bare. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it with faith. You nourish it with conviction. Every time you feel doubt, every time fear creeps in and you're tempted to return to the old self, pause. Do not run. Do not spiral. Simply remind yourself that the resistance is only a reflection of yesterday's beliefs. It has no power unless you feed it. Shift your focus. Speak your new truth. Declare again what you've already claimed. I am already successful. I am already whole. I am already chosen. Say it not to escape the fear, but to rise above it. Faith is a choice, a moment-by-moment decision to see with the inner eye rather than the outer one. It is not about being perfect. It is about being persistent. You fall, you return. You doubt, you realign. You stumble, and still you keep walking. Each time you do, your resistance weakens, your faith strengthens, and your new reality becomes more and more inevitable. The mistake most make is to interpret resistance as a sign that manifestation isn't working. But resistance is often the final test. The question is not, is it coming? The question is, will you remain faithful to the end you declare? Because the moment you abandon your vision, you feed the old reality again, and the cycle continues. But when you hold your ground, when you say, I don't care what I see, I know what I've imagined, you shift everything. You step out of reaction and into creation. And in that space, the resistance cannot touch you. It may knock, but you don't answer. It may shout, but you don't speak back. You are too busy living in the end, too grounded in faith, too certain of what already belongs to you. This is how you overcome resistance. Not by force, not by avoidance, but by knowing deeply, unshakably, quietly that it is already done. The key to all lasting manifestation lies in your ability to remain consistent and persistent, not just in action, but in thought, in belief, and feeling. Creation is not a single moment of inspiration. It is a sustained inner atmosphere. It is your willingness to return again and again to the truth of your desire, even when nothing around you seems to change. The world outside may delay, but your assumption cannot waver. You must persist. Not occasionally, not when convenient, but daily, moment to moment, as if your very life depends on it, because it does. You do not water a plant once and expect it to flourish. You nourish it regularly. You protect it from weeds. You provide it light, attention, care. The same is true of your dreams. A single affirmation is not enough. A brief vision is not enough. You must repeat the inner experience of the wish fulfilled until it becomes your dominant state, until it becomes your natural dwelling place, until it feels more real to you than the conditions you see with your eyes. Consistency does not mean perfection. You will have moments where doubt visits, where fear knocks, where your senses contradict your vision. But persistence means you return, you reaffirm, you realign. You do not quit just because it is uncomfortable. You do not surrender your future to temporary emotions. You hold fast to the end you have chosen. You revisit it in imagination, in feeling, in words, until your whole being is saturated with the knowing that it is already yours. The mind is a creature of habit. It will believe whatever you feed it consistently. If you constantly dwell on lack, your mind will accept that as truth. But if you continuously impress upon it the feeling of abundance, of success, of love, then your subconscious must eventually conform to that new assumption. And when the subconscious changes, the world must follow. But it requires repetition. It requires showing up over and over with the same inner conviction, the same emotional tone, the same unwavering stance. Many give up too soon, not because the desire isn't manifesting, but because they expect immediate results. They test the law like a skeptic instead of using it like a master. But manifestation is not a matter of testing. It is a matter of being. You must be the one who already has what they desire, and being that person is not a temporary role. It is a persistent choice. Every morning you wake up and step into that version of yourself. Every night you fall asleep in that state. This is the discipline that separates the casual dreamer from the conscious creator. The outer world may take time to reflect your inner shift, but your persistence shortens that distance. Each time you refuse to return to the old story, you are building the new one. Each moment you say, "This is who I am now," regardless of evidence, you are forming the mold from which reality must be poured. And if you persist in that identity, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself around you. To persist is not to struggle. It is to stand firm. It is to rest in the knowing that you have already received. It is to walk through the appearance of delay without losing your peace. Because you know that creation does not begin when the world confirms it. It begins the moment you claim it within. And you do not drop that claim just because your senses lag behind. You hold it. You live it. You breathe it. You return to it again and again until the unseen becomes seen. This is the quiet power of consistency. This is the quiet strength of persistence. It is not loud, but it is unstoppable. And it is the secret behind every true manifestation. Everything you now see was once unseen. Every form, every experience, every object, every circumstance. Each began in the realm of the invisible. It lived first in the mind, in the imagination, in the quiet space of desire and belief. This is the true birthplace of creation. The outer world is only the echo, only the result. The real work is done within. When you understand this, you stop chasing the visible. You begin cultivating the unseen with care, with focus, with reverence. Because you know the invisible is not a fantasy, it is the seed of reality. To create is not to manipulate the outer world. To create is to dwell so deeply in the unseen truth of your desire that it must take shape around you. This is the divine law. Everything visible has its origin in thought, feeling, and assumption. You imagine it, you feel it, you believe it, and through that persistent inner experience, the invisible becomes inevitable. The world simply obeys the blueprint you have built in your inner sanctuary. The mistake most people make is believing only in what they can touch, hear, or see. But sight, as powerful as it is not the source of truth. It is the final translation. The deeper truth lives within you. It is the conviction that what you imagine already exists in substance, though not yet in form. It is already complete, already alive in the invisible dimension, and time is merely the bridge that carries it into view. If you can hold to that truth no matter what the senses screen, then you will witness the miracle of translation, the invisible becoming visible. There is no limit to what can be made manifest because there is no limit to what can be believed. You're not bound by what you have seen before. You're not confined by the past or the present. Your imagination is the doorway to all that can be. And the more real it becomes within you, the more quickly it begins to externalize. You are not waiting for life to give you what you want. You are sculpting life from the inside out. Your vision, your emotion, your assumption, they are the tools. And your belief is the force that brings them to life. When you assume something is already yours and persist in that inner reality, your entire vibration changes. You no longer look at the world as one who is waiting. You look at it as one who is aligned. There is a quiet power in knowing, a certainty that doesn't need to push or chase. That inner atmosphere maintained faithfully compels the world to reflect it. Events shift. People appear. Circumstances rearrange. Not because you forced them, but because you remain true to the invisible truth within. Even when nothing seems to be happening, creation is unfolding beneath the surface. Just as the seed grows roots before breaking through the soil, so too does your manifestation develop in realms you cannot yet see. Trust that, know that, and do not let temporary appearances weaken your inner certainty. What you have accepted in your imagination is already real. It only waits for the appointed hour to rise into view. Hold your vision. Live in your imagination with confidence and clarity. Feel the truth of your desire fulfilled as though it were already here. Because in truth it is. And if you remain loyal to that unseen reality, the seen must come. Not maybe, not someday, but inevitably, for that is the law. The invisible, when impressed upon the subconscious with emotion and faith, always becomes the visible. So now, you stand at the edge of the choice to live as a passive observer bound by what your senses report, or as a conscious creator who declares boldly, "It is done." These three words are not mere affirmations. They are the signal to the universe that you no longer seek, you no longer doubt, you know. When you say, "It is done," you enter the state of fulfillment, not hoping, not reaching, but living from the end as if nothing else could be true. Let the power of present tense belief shape your identity. Let your inner world overflow with the feeling that your desire is already realized. Let emotion become the sacred fire that breathes life into your vision. And when resistance arises, and it will, stand firm in faith, unmoved, unshaken. Return to your vision not once but persistently. Let consistency be your silent promise to the self you've chosen to become. And as you dwell in this invisible reality, as you walk in its truth and sleep in its certainty, the visible will rise to meet you. The world will bend, not to your effort, but to your assumption. You were never meant to chase your dreams. You are meant to embody them, to know them, to live them, internally first, until the external world has no choice but to reflect back your unwavering conviction. You are the beginning of every change you wish to see. Speak it, feel it, claim it, because it is done,